David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Before we get the main injury update from you, can you just talk about after a game like that, is there a concern, or are you wary at all about how your team will respond when it's that sort of a loss?
Well, I would not say I'm concerned or wary at all. I think these are opportunities to grow, no doubt about it. I mean, I think adversity gives you a tremendous look inside and makes you answer more questions and to make sure you got the right answers.
And as far as the three main guys in Van Der Esch, Goodwin, and Turpin, if you could update us on.
Yeah, I think Terp, just the early diagnosis on Terp, I think he'll, with us having the Monday night game, we'll treat Thursday like a Wednesday. So I think we'll know more then, but I think he definitely has a chance to practice this week. But both CJ and Leighton are, we're still collecting all the information, but definitely looks that potentially going to IR.
Both players.
Correct.
On Leighton, can you just talk about is it the same neck injuries in the past, or?
Well, I mean, it's an injury to the neck, so obviously high caution is in place here, and so I know as I left the meeting earlier, he was headed for another appointment.
And you're in the linebacker, obviously. Just can talk about the potential and who would call plays or anything like that.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Obviously it's fresh getting back late last night, so those are things that. Frankly, I'll go from here to the Will's office, but in our personnel meeting, we touched on some potential opportunities. But I think like anything, we just got to make sure we have all the information before we head down that road.
Mike Tonners with ESPN. You talked after the game about you didn't run the ball as much as you wanted or give them any opportunity as you wanted. What were the issues on first down for you guys? I think it was 1.9 yards per play.
Well, I think like anything, I mean, as you cut through the tape and you cut through the third downs, I mean, we're 2 for 6 there in manageable third downs. So, I definitely felt like we were in position to continue to be effective on third down. So we did not get that done. But, when you don't get when you're not, converting third downs, obviously, your first and second down opportunities go down. So, and that's where your ability to have balance in a run and pass exists. So, but I think just like anything, we were all frustrated, coming out of that game, during the game. I know I was personally too. So it was a difficult game. They played extremely well. You give them credit, but we didn't play to our level that we had played at the first 4 weeks. So that's why you take the time. Just with getting back as late as we have, we're going to take Wednesday and take the emotion out of all this and make sure we go through it and make sure all the answers are there in place for our players, because it's our responsibility, as leaders, as coaches, as game planners, decision makers, to make sure we're giving the players the tools to be successful. So, and then we'll pick up Thursday on like a normal week. So that's the outlook moving forward.
John Michaud, The Athletic. Like, when you look back at the game, how, in really the last 2 weeks, how do you guys get CeeDee more involved?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, CeeDee, trust me, no one wants him to touch the ball more than I do. So, I mean, CeeDee's an impact player, has been for us. So, I think all those things are very fair questions, and we're having the same conversations. But at the end of the day, too, we gotta kind of remain some balance in our offense, because that's when we're at our best. But definitely, CeeDee he's a premier player. That's how I view him, and that's our responsibility to make sure he has opportunities to make impact plays.
Saad,
The Athletic. Mike, you've only been here for 3-4 years. A lot of players, same time span. When you look at kind of the pressure that comes with this organization that predates your time here and stuff, how do you make sure that a disappointment like yesterday doesn't weigh down people, players, coaches, by expectations that are almost 3 decades long at this point?
Well, I think it's an excellent question, and I think just like anything, experience, and I've been very, very fortunate to work in this league a long time, and it is extremely difficult each and every week to win a game. We all understand that, but you learn through probably more the lows than the highs to make sure that, you are consistent. I think it's important as a leader to be extremely consistent in your approach, in your language, your messaging, in everything that you do. So, but yeah, I like to think I'm a lot more conscientious on, where the staff is amongst the players, because I think we do an excellent job of making sure the players are, the rest and recovery, and make sure you're hitting the targets of how we train and so forth. But you definitely got to be mindful of your staff also.
Tom.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. How do you try to fix that getting off to such a poor start in a big game when you thought it looked pretty good in the couple of 3 days before the game?
We didn't start very well, and that's obviously, I think it's been a strength in the first month. I think your ROI is something I truly believe in. We all have the same amount of time to prepare each and every week, so where do you put that time? And we have been strong starting games, as a football team, and it definitely was not the case last night. So I think just like anything, that's part of the accountability, seeking continuity and the consistency of how you train and building off that, and because I do believe in the process of how you emphasize the beginning of the game, the end of the game, the amount of time that we put in there, the importance of the last series, of the first half, the first series of the second half. So I think it's just like anything. You keep working on it, and you trust your evaluation process.
Babe.
Dave Loffenberg, Cowboys Radio. So, Mike, after a game like that, obviously it's a dissection of the negative of what happened. But when you looked at it, did you see anything positive either from a position group or individual players?
Yeah, definitely. There's always positive plays, moments, without a doubt. I think really, the disappointment is, in the consistency of play, and I think, number one, you always start with your self-inflicted wounds. We had too many pre-snap penalties again that affected drives. So, and that's not the first time it's happened this year. So, that's definitely something that needs to be continued to be addressed, emphasized, and because we need to be better there. Because, we're making it harder on ourselves, without, dealing with the competition of the opponent. So, but yeah, I think. There's always good things that come out of losses. It just doesn't feel very good, obviously, standing up here right now. But, yeah, there's things that we can continue to build off of.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. After 5 weeks, what's your offensive identity right now?
Identity? Yeah, I think just like anything. When I look at the 5 weeks of offense, I just think that we've been in a different range of games. Because I was thinking about it even after I talked to the team last night, and it's been on my mind, because I just believe in consistency and continuity is so important in everything you do in this league, because it is difficult and deal with the highs and lows. But when I look at our 5 games, we've had 3 lopsided wins. We had a tough game on the road. That kind of got away from us, that we fought back in, and then we had last night's game. So I think with that, the identity of the offense is clearly you want to have some balance throughout how you play. Ball distribution, I think, has been 4 out of 5 games. I think we definitely have hit the mark. But I think when you get into games, I know when you get into these games, you got to get touches to certain individuals. So I think we clearly can be that. So yeah, I like a lot of things that we've done, outside of last night offensively. Because outside of the red zone, we've definitely hit the mark. When we started this, this offensive approach back in April, I just think it's a matter of who do you want to be and who do you think you are. I coached the team for a lot of years that it was offensive driven, and but this team's about defense. Let's make no bones about it. And that's not a slight against the offense. We want to score as many points as everybody, and we're not, playing not to lose. So don't mix the message here. But we play to our defense. That's a strength of our team. And by doing that, the time of possession, taking care of the football, those are 2 things that were, I thought, improvement from past years. The first month, clearly was not last night. You can't win games. You give the ball away, you can't win a game. I mean, let's be honest about that. So that's when the game got out of control there in the second half. So we got to take care of the ball. We got to continue to go the long way when we have to, but more importantly, I think we can do more as far as creating opportunities for big plays or getting the ball specifically where we want it to go.
Mike.
Mike McCarthy, California News. Along those lines, it's difficult to play your defense when you're having the lack of early down offensive success that you guys had last night. It didn't matter if it was run or pass. You just couldn't really get anything going on first down. What do you count that lack of success?
Well, I think when you say not get anything going, I mean generating first downs on first and second down. So, yeah, because we had, really I thought our biggest failure was third down. You know, we had favorable third down situations that we didn't convert, and the first 4 weeks of the season, we were best in the league at converting them. So, I mean, I'm not going to, sit up there and beat their drum, but they played very well. They played to their tape that they put on video the first 4 weeks. We did not. And, our strength as an offense has been third down, and it was not a strength last night.
Coach Nicole, I just been with Dallas Cowboys media. You talked about accountability, how you want to see everyone pretty much take accountability for yesterday's loss. Just how have those conversations been like with some of your guys, if you have had any so far?
Well, I think it's like anything. I believe in education, application, and regulation or evaluation, which way you want to look at it. And that's what Monday's for. We'll extend this evaluation process into Wednesday because we have time. And I think it's important to take the emotion out of it for this one. So I think it'll give us an opportunity for more clarity and understanding, and same breath make sure we're prepared. I did not want to rush through the corrections today. And there was a lot going on as far as the weight room and getting that part accomplished, and also your medical process. So, and I just think like anything in evaluation, when you're seeking accountability, you got to ask all the right questions, and you got to make sure that the answers to the questions are, that whether you disagree or you agree, at the end of the day, you just can't be disagreeable as we move forward as a group. So that's always been our approach, and it's no different for this week.
Mike, Dak yesterday mentioned that, keeping the focus in the room and all that kind of stuff. For the young players that you have that might be a little bit more online or whatever, do you tell them not to read stuff, not to see what's going on social media or things like that after a game like that?
I mean, those days are over. I think there was a day as a head coach in this league that may have come out of my mouth, but it does not today. Social media is a part of the everyday life. Having teenagers, I understand that on a personal level. So, yeah, I just think it's like anything else. These are grown men. They're heavily involved. They've grown up in this generation. So, I just think it's like anything is. We always talk about, make sure you control what you put into your body, and it's no different than your mind. So, that's the only suggestion I would give them.
Skyler.
Two-part question. The health of Tyler Biadasz, who went out and came back, how's that in the rest of the offensive line?
Still working through it, but I think Tyler's going to be. Hopefully he'll be available this week.
And how long do you think it would take that group, if they do get to stay intact, to kind of
Yeah,
get where they need
I think it's an excellent point because I do like to look at the group. I thought there were some things that we did well. I think there's some things that moving forward that I can highlight more for them. And I just think like anything, Tyler Smith and Tyron Smith, how many combination blocks have they worked on yet? Not a whole lot. So, we got work there, but it was great to have all five of those guys out there.
Clarence.
Getting back to the defense, you talked about you playing to the strength of the defense. What were they doing yesterday? Because, I mean, the interception didn't come until after it was 28-10. And so what did they do to take advantage of your defense yesterday?
Well, we talking about which interception you talking about? You talking about our takeaway or their takeaway?
Dak's barrage of interception didn't come until after the score was 28-10. And I'm saying, what were they doing to have so much success?
Well, I think some of the things were, when you get into, they clearly won the field position battle. I mean, that's, that's product of, as you know, us on offense not moving the ball. But you know, I think they had some extended series. You know, whether it's penalties. I thought they'd, you know, for the most part, they've been highlighting McCaffrey, you know, a tremendous amount leading up to this game. You know, when I look at the numbers, you know, I thought our guys did a nice job on him as far as the focal point. You know, but the things that they did off of that, they were able to hit on some big plays. You know, and you know, I just think there's some opportunities that we had that just didn't quite cash in. You know, I thought the play on Dono was, you know, that's a tough one. You know, you could see he's trying to go in there with his shoulder, and you know, and I don't get caught up in those types of play. But you know, when they go the other way, sometimes it's difficult to overcome. I think that, you know, clearly those are plays when if those are opposite early in the game, you know, maybe the game goes in a different direction. So, and that's why we make such a big deal of the big play opportunities. We were -2 big play, you know, production in the first half. You know, that's that game was closer than it actually felt in some ways, because you know they obviously controlled the time of possession and the field position. But you know, so I thought our defense, you know, did a good job of, you know, kind of hanging in there, and then it got away from us there in the third quarter.
Okay. Like, I know a lot of coaches are big believers in gauging an athlete's body language and how it is during a game. Understanding you're calling a game, you don't have a lot of time for that during the game, but is that something you pay attention to, especially in a loss like this, to see what a player's body language is and how he's interacting with his teammates?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Had a great visit with CeeDee today, and I'll just say it, if he's not pissed off that he's getting the ball, then I'm pissed off at him for not being pissed off. I mean, he's an impact player. I mean, you know, he should feel that way. But you know, I just think, like anything in life, you know, how you handle things and how you move forward is you know, how you affect others. You know, there's so many things good things that can come out of that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, fully aware of it. You know, and it was frustrating. You know, it was frustrating not doing your part. You know, on offense, and you know, and I felt that at this, you know, I felt frustration also as a play caller.
Mike, are your receivers getting enough separation?
Well, that's, you know, this game, there's definitely moments where we can be better, and it's something that we fully anticipated. I know, just looking at the tea leaves and everything, they played a lot of vision zone going into the game. We spent the end of the week just really anticipating man, because we felt that it was going to be a combative game all the way through, you know, even particularly on the perimeter. So, but that's something definitely that we'll be focused on.
That it? Great. Thank you,
Thank
Mike.
you.